So, hello everybody. We are apparently ready here. It's not that bad looking from this situation. So I guess we can go for now. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so let's go. Okay. All right. So, hello everybody and good evening from me and also from Sarawak, from Borneo. So today we are going to see and witness the launch of the Progress MS-33. This one is the cargo resupply mission that will be heading to the International Space Station. Okay, and this one in particular, this one originally planned should happen around around should be happen around 3 months ago, or basically around the time shortly when after the launch of the Soyuz MS-28. Probably should be slated for few days apart. But what happened what happened after the flight is actually pretty interesting from what I see. Okay, from how do I say? Maybe I'll introduce first before we go with that topic. So yeah, hello everybody, and good evening from me. I'm Dennis Suga, your host today for the launch of the Cosmos Soyuz 2.1a. Okay, so this one we're going to witness the launch of the Progress MS-33 mission. This one will be heading to the International Space Station. Okay, where it's going to be launched on the Baikonur Cosmodrome Site 31/6. Okay, this cargo resupply missions, of course, it has tons of uh, tons of food, supplies, whatever is it, water, even scientific equipment and what's on they are pretty required for this mission. And probably, who knows, maybe there's even some of the important international space station component that could be heading there. That will be pretty crucial, especially for the next upcoming US spacewalk 95. Okay, I recently already streamed that spacewalk 94. So if you haven't watched that 94, you can watch on my full stream. It's pretty long, but you can just click and presses some certain part that might interest you. That's one things for sure. That's pretty interesting. And yeah, and as I said early early on the previous one, previously, I want to say, originally it should just probably around few days or a week after the launch of the Soyuz MS-28. Yeah, that one is the crewed mission to the International Space Station. If I remember, I streamed that around January this year, 2026. Yeah, that one after the launch of it, supposedly not long after that, it should be the launch of the Progress MS-28. But what happened is that from my understanding of the situation is that something like a pancake stuff below of it. If I remember, that one is the service that one is the service launchpad installation, something like that. Yeah. Supposedly that one should have originally originally it should be launched intact without any problem and what's on. But on that service yeah, if I remember, on the service maintenance launchpad, the horizontal one on the below of it should be used to maintain or and even install some of the important stuff like pyrotechnics, attaching it to uh, to the the launch mount itself. What happened is that after, what happened is that if from my reading is that it's not actually being secured properly. So by the time it's not actually properly secured, when due to the force of the launch itself, especially with tons of thrust, and also hypersonic hypersonic rocket rocket exhaust flame and whatnot, all of this combining resulting in the damage of that system on the below of the launch pad of it. And also, if I remember, that one is also pretty important as well to ensure that it can also be maintained of the rocket itself and whatnot. And uh, due to the service, if I remember, service maintenance module pad there literally destroyed, okay, and being blown off due to the force of the launches. What happened is that uh, what happened is that unfortunately they think at the time they think about, well, whether or not they can continue processing and whatnot, and also they are quite frantically trying to find any solution if they can replace that damaged part of it. But it turns out there is a side in the solution. What they actually do is that they look back at the inventory, especially the spare part, the surplus part back around the time when around the Soviet Union time. They are looking at the 1970s spare part unit, and they found out that yes, we can actually use it, and that's how eventually it became a thing. And now thanks to that spare parts that were built in 1970s, they were able to replace it in just few months time. And now this is what we are looking right now. It's on right now it's on 20 22 March 22nd March 2026. Right now at this my place, it's Sunday 19 it's Sunday at 7 almost 7:37, almost, how do I say? Let me pronounce this properly. This might actually become a little bit of tongue twister. It's around 7:37 p.m. here in Sarawak in Borneo. So yeah, it's quite a time for one thing's for sure. And I guess rather than wasting you guys' time, why not I'm going to show you right away. All right, so here is it. All right. And let me talk here. Sorry, let me just open up here, right? Okay, so this is from NASA live stream, as we are looking right now. All right, so why not we just go to 100? Okay, okay, I guess, okay, this is good. This is good. Okay, okay. All right. See- All right. So good. So this is what we are here right now. Let me see. Let's close the music and let's go. Why not we just go? Yeah, here. Is it? Ah, yeah. So, ah, yeah. Okay, this is good. This is good. I'm going to use it right away. Oh, okay. So so this is what you're looking right now. This one is from the quality of Mission Control Center. Oh, 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 that's a bit back. That's quite a bad aud microphone audio loop there. But it's okay. Okay, right now, according to the timer, it's right now at less than T minus 21 minutes into the flight. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So apparently, yeah, I actually missed that timing. Okay, so I've already clicked live, and now we are finally back at what NASA should have already been. Haha. All right, so slight mistake there. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, it's quite a bit chaotic, isn't it? Oh yeah, I shouldn't push that. Is this good? Ah, yeah. Let me see again. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, okay, okay. I'm going to use that. This one is the boundary. Okay, so here, as you can see,
Coming up on 20 minutes to launch of the Progress 94 spacecraft today,
all
again
right,
delivering 2.7 tons of food,
all
fuel,
right,
and supplies to the orbiting laboratory.
all right. So here we can see on the launch pad right now, where the Soyuz 2.1a right now standing in
Around
the hot,
6:21 a.m. Central
probably
today,
not
we're
super duper hot
at
right now
about
because it's
38
around
minutes before launch.
springtime right
Launch
now.
arms
Yeah,
surrounding
so
the
happy
spacecraft on the
spring
launch
season
pad forward.
for
There are two
northern
serviceable
hemisphere,
hoists
and for
attached to the side of the
southern
Soyuz booster to the
hemisphere,
visible left of the booster, and those gantry
um
arms
happy
now horizontal.
happy fall slash autumn
Those
season for you
umbilicals,
guys.
the first will begin to retract around the T minus
All
33
right.
second mark, and the second will retract just about 10 seconds before launch. That initiates the engine start
Yeah.
sequence, resulting in the
So this is
turbopumps coming up
what
to
we are
flight
going to
speed.
see.
The hold down arms will be retracted to allow for liftoff and the beginning of Progress 94 journey to the station.
All right, so that's what we are hearing right now. And while we are still have a little bit of time, maybe we can also discuss about this Soyuz rocket. Yeah, not to be confused with the Soyuz spacecraft. Okay, this one is specifically the Soyuz rocket. From my understanding, this Soyuz 2 and also the Soyuz dash frigate. That one is actually existing around the same time, but the Soyuz frigate is more like uh, analog computer side in comparison to the more digital computer side on the Soyuz 2 rocket series, as you can see here. And because of that digital computer guidance navigation system right now, it means that most of this rocket right now, when it, when it's ready to go to launch, it no longer has to rely on these, how do I say, it no longer have to rely on the manual configuration on the launch pad, where usually they will have to tilt the launch, how do I say, the clamp arm there and whatnot. They don't have to reconfigure that anymore. So that's the good thing about this digital stuff, because it can actually go. It finally can have this ability where it also can go roll maneuver instead of just pitch and yaw. In that case, it's just a 2D thrust, but due to the roll maneuver there, now now this Soyuz rocket can now conduct this 3D thrust
This
maneuver
view at the
where it
base of the
can
rocket
move
shows
on
the
around 6 degrees
strap-on
of
solid
freedom.
rocket boosters on the first
Okay.
stage, venting super chilled liquid oxygen. Again, the spacecraft is and the rocket is fully fueled, and when that super cool liquid oxygen comes in contact with the warmer air outside, we see some venting, completely normal. Again, standing by for launch this morning at 6:59 and 51 seconds a.m. Central Time. Launch through spacecraft separation is controlled at the blockhouse in Baikonur, and at the time of spacecraft separation, flight control will be transferred to the team at the Russian Mission Control Center outside of Moscow, who will continue to monitor Progress 94's flight to the station until its arrival on Tuesday morning.
Oh yeah, I
Some
forgot.
of the final minutes of the
Yeah, I
countdown will
forgot
have milestones that
the
include
fate
the
there.
physical launch key being inserted
It's a
at
little
the
bit
launch
of
bunker
low
by
there,
the launch
but
conductor to
it's okay.
transition in the launch sequence into automatic mode, that coming about 7 minutes before liftoff.
All right, so that's it.
At 5 minutes and 30 seconds prior to liftoff, the launch conductor in Baikonur will report if the range is clear and the Soyuz rocket is ready to begin its journey. Fuel lines of the rocket engines will then be purged with nitrogen by removing vapors of fuel and oxidizer. And at 4 minutes prior to liftoff, the onboard systems will switch to autonomous control, followed by booster tanks being pressurized for flight, which optimizes the flow of fuel.
Okay, so that's also another interesting thing
Inside
that,
3 minutes
oh,
and 30 seconds to launch, the key to the drainage position at the launch site will be turned into the proper position. And at 3 minutes before launch, the International Space Station itself will fly over Baikonur.
yeah, so that's what we are hearing right now. about this stuff. Okay. hmm And
At T minus 1 minute and 30 seconds, the ground propellant feed to the first stage of the Soyuz booster will be terminated, and at 1 minute prior to launch, the Soyuz booster itself will go on internal power. As
yeah.
mentioned earlier,
Oh,
we'll see retraction of that first umbilical around T minus 35 seconds, followed by the second umbilical retraction about 12 seconds before liftoff. That will initiate the engine start sequencing. The launch command will be issued, and the turbopumps will come up to flight speed and maximum thrust ahead of liftoff at 6:59 and 51 seconds a.m. Central Time, just 15 minutes from now.
all right. So that's what we are hearing right now. How the launch procedure is going.
The International Space Station is currently flying 264 statute miles over Sudan, and that gives you a perspective of just how fast the space station travels, given that it will be flying over the Baikonur Cosmodrome in just about 12 minutes. The station traveling 17,500 miles per hour, which is orbital velocity, and about 5 miles per second, seeing 16 sunrises and sunsets per day.
Yeah, and also around that time, they obviously cannot risk having any more of the bigger problem of the rocket itself, because otherwise, if the problem is way too big to handle, obviously it's not going to be able to reach into the International Space Station. So that's why you see why the launches itself is plus minus. They have to go around almost precisely around that time. That's why. And from yeah, and also that's why the time specifically chosen to be around, like it said, at least on the America, it's 6:59 a.m. Central Time. At least here in my place, it will be here in my place here in Sarawak in Borneo. It will be at 7:59 p.m. where it's going to be launched. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's 13 hours behind. We are 13 hours ahead of US Central Time. So that's it. And as you can see, this is a very near, very very sh- uh, sh- a very near shot of the view itself. Okay, so that's why you're gonna see there. Okay, and I think just to ensure that we don't have too much of the launch delay, maybe we can direct, maybe I can just keep it like this. Yeah, I think this is fine. We can just do like this. We still keep this side by side, the Roscosmos stream and also the NASA official stream here as well. So, oh, and now it's already being synced according to the NASA live feed as well, and joined together for this stream you can see there. And right now we are at less than T minus 12 minutes actually. But if we have to follow on the live stream, because especially we have to take account of of the Roscosmos stream as well. Well, maybe we can just refer to the Roscosmos stream, but it does sure to have it should have some tens of seconds of delay. Okay, maybe we can check a bit. Uh, okay, maybe just give me a little bit seconds if we can go.
Again, you're
Okay,
watching live coverage of the
I don't think
Progress
we need to
94
do too
spacecraft
much.
launch to the
Just let
International
it
Space Station,
is
scheduled for
as
just
it
over
is.
10 minutes from now at 6:59 and 51 seconds a.m. Central Time.
All right. So for the total launches of the Progress
After liftoff, the
spacecraft,
spacecraft and rocket
it's
will see a
Progress
series of
94.
milestones, including
Okay.
max
So this
Q,
is
which will
what we
be
are looking right
maximum
now.
dynamic pressure on the vehicle about a minute after launch, followed by first stage separation approximately 1 minute and 57
Okay, so
seconds
this is what
after
you are looking
launch.
right now.
At
Okay,
that time, the first stage will
so
shut down
this is
and
it,
separate, and the
how you actually
strap-on
use.
solid rocket
But
boosters will
man,
fall
they are
away.
using
At
miles.
3 minutes and 3 seconds
We
after
cannot
launch, the launch shroud will be jettisoned.
it. If I have to translate it,
And
this
at
will
4
be
minutes and
around 100
37 seconds after launch,
plus
the second
kilometers, and
stage
then
shutdown and separation will occur. We'll also
probably
see
around
third stage
180
ignition.
plus kilometers, and then afterward will be
Third stage
around
shutdown will
500 plus
occur
kilometers, and then
approximately 8 minutes and
not long after that,
45
also the
seconds
same
after launch,
400 plus
followed
as well.
just 3
Yeah,
seconds later by third stage separation.
yeah, and also like it says, the times are pretty approximate. As you can see how it separates. When it separates in, uh,
So, a less than
okay,
9 minute ride to orbit, and once on orbit, the Progress spacecraft will
all right.
receive commands to unfurl its solar arrays, prepare its navigation antennas and external television camera.
Okay, so you
And
can see
again, we
there.
expect to see this spacecraft arrive at the space station Tuesday morning around 8:34 a.m. Central Time for an automated docking.
All right, so according to this countdown from Roscosmos, it's T minus 9 minutes and 30 seconds. NASA is slightly a little bit delayed, around 3 to 4 seconds behind. But yeah, this is pretty typical as well because you have to take account of the latency, latency here and there, especially let's just say because I'm in Sarawak, I'm in Borneo right now. Obviously, obviously the server is going to be a little bit, how do I say, a little bit, n- not a little bit, will be vastly near to the where they are right now in Kazakhstan, in Russia, in comparison to US here. In this case, it will be NASA. That's why it's like that. And of course, when they are trying to stream this, of course, they are going to use the satellite broadcast and then later on restream again into the site, for example, like YouTube here, or maybe if they decide they want to go with Twitch as well, they technically can do that. So that's how it's actually being done there, here and there. Okay, T minus 8 minutes and 20 seconds. And of course, the satellites are pretty important as well for this kind of feed to ensure near instantaneous uh, live stream. Okay, so we are here right now.
8 minutes now until launch.
Okay, T
Next
minus
milestone coming up, T
seven
minus
minutes
7
and
minutes. The
55
physical
seconds.
launch key will be
Okay, and
inserted
now it's
at the
going
launch bunker
a bit near and
by the
some
launch
adjustment
conductor
there.
to transition into the launch sequence into automatic mode.
Okay, and of course, just like I said from earlier on, this Progress MS spacecraft here, obviously it has been loaded with tons of scientific equipments, experiments, and also some basic necessities resupply. For example, like water, water, oxygen. Okay, okay. So okay, for example, like oxygen, water, foods, and whatever important could be like electrical, additional solar panels as well, resulting from the resultant Progress MS spacecraft. Okay, that's what we are hearing right now.
Now under 7 minutes to launch, again a physical launch key insertion at the launch bunker, transitioning the spacecraft and rocket into automatic mode. Next milestone will be at 5 minutes and 30 seconds prior to launch, when the launch conductor in Baikonur will report if the range is clear and the Soyuz rocket is ready to begin its journey. Again, live here from the International Space Station Flight Control Room in Houston,
Mhm.
Texas, where flight controllers have given the go for today's launch.
All right, so already been given go, and that's what and right now, as we can see on this now, from what we hear on the telemetry call, is that those people responsible for the launching of the rocket, they have the physical key to basically confirm that everything is good and the rockets can now switch on its automated launch sequence. as well. And around T minus, if I remember, T minus 1 minute, the rockets, or 2 minutes, the rocket will finally go into the full internal power mode on. And then around T minus 35 seconds, the bigger umbilical launch tower there will be retracted, followed by the T minus 17 seconds. The second smaller umbilical tower will be retracted, signifying
Now, under
that
5.5 minutes
that
to
the
launch,
power
the
and
floorlines
the
of the rocket
telemetry and
engines will
what's
soon
on,
be
all
purged
of
of
it can
nitrogen
go.
and remove
Okay.
the fuel and oxidizer vapors within.
Okay. So soon, on the engine side, as you have
Again,
heard
you can see that
from
super
NASA.
chilled liquid oxygen venting off of the rocket. This is completely normal process as that cold gas meets the warmer air outside, about 62 degrees Fahrenheit in Baikonur right now.
Okay. 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 Because I just want to mention, but yeah, from what we heard from the NASA, as the NASA has already explained, the engine bay area, especially where the launch pad with the hole itself already has been there, it will be purged with nitrogen gas to ensure that there is
Coming up on 4
there's no
minutes
more
until liftoff.
dangerous combination
Again, at
of
4
the
minutes, those
fuel
onboard
vapor
systems
and
will
also
switch to autonomous
liquid
control,
oxygen vapor
followed
that
by the
will
booster tanks being
uh,
pressurized for flight.
that that will cause any problem, or especially any explosive problem, in case the engines decided to finally ignite. It's not going to cause a huge explosion or
You can see those
problem
gantry
there, so
arms
that's why.
horizontal to the rocket, down
And
lower, cut
just to give
about
you a
30
little bit
minutes
of
ago.
the
And
side.
those two umbilicals
Okay,
still attached to the side of the
never
rocket,
mind.
which will be retracted at under a minute from liftoff.
Okay, so as you um I really want to say this, but
At this
i-
inside 3 minute and 30-second mark, the key to the drainage position at the launch site is turned into the proper position. The valves through which the evaporated or gaseous oxygen escapes from the fuel tanks into the atmosphere are closed, and the fuel is draining back into the tanks to maintain proper weight distribution of the rocket. These valves also provide liquid oxygen for replenishment that has been lost through that liquid oxygen boil off that we've been able to see on the first stage. At 3 minutes, currently right now, the International Space Station is flying 267 statute miles over Baikonur.
yeah, right now,
The
as
fuel and oxidizer tanks on the first stage are now being pressurized to optimize the fuel flow.
okay, so all of the rocket engine stages right now has already been right now on the way to properly pressurize it into the flight level. And as you have heard before, it's now the International Space Station has already been right now currently flying over the Baikonur. Okay, Baikonur, which actually located in Kazakhstan.
Next milestone will be at T minus 1 minute and 30 seconds for before launch when the ground propellant feed to the first stage of the Soyuz booster is terminated.
Okay, right now, T minus 1 minute and 53 seconds, and get ready. And just in case you don't know, the rocket propellant, all of it were actually powered by the Kerolox propellant. The liquid oxygen is the oxidizer for this rocket, while the super refined kerosene, essentially a imagine like more refined version of the typical jet fuel, but specifically designed for the rocket as the fuel
Again,
itself.
now under 1 minute and 30
And
seconds
usually
to
when
launch,
this
targeted for
super
6,
refined kerosene being
59 and
used, of
51
course,
seconds
it's
a.m. Central
actually
Time,
ensured to
4:59 p.m.
it has
Baikonur time.
little to no little to how do I say
Coming up at the
little to
1 minute
no
mark, the
lead
Soyuz booster
contamination
itself will go on internal power.
that uh, that
The
that
next
could lead
visual
to a problem.
milestone will be
Okay,
at the
and
33
right now
second
T minus
mark.
1 minutes
Prior to
already
liftoff, we
gone
will
into
see
the
retraction of that first
internal
umbilical.
power on. Okay, and I think we can actually just change this mode. Okay, Let's change this. Okay, I think this is good. Yeah, should not be too disturbing. We are going to use both of these stream. Should not be a problem. Okay, so we see right now the first umbilical tower has already been retracted and getting
There
ready
you
in
have
for T
retraction
minus
of the first
17
umbilical,
or
second one coming
15
up, and
seconds
T
in
minus 12
before the
seconds
flight.
before
We will
liftoff.
see the second umbilical tower. The smaller one will be retracted. Okay, and retraction happened. Okay, and here we go. Engine start. It's been commanded on the first stage.
Ignition,
Okay, ignition. Okay, getting ready.
turbines
And we have
pumping
full
up at light
thrust.
speed.
And we have liftoff. We have liftoff of the Soyuz
And
2.1a,
liftoff with the
carrying the
lunar
Progress
research
MS
vehicle en route
Progress
2.7 miles of
MS-33
cargo to the
uh,
International Space
of the
Station.
cargo resupply spacecraft heading to the International Space Station. We are looking in. Okay, looking pretty beautiful view there. Okay.
Confirmation that
Oh,
all
okay.
parameters
That's
are
that's
normal and
all.
flight has
Parameters
begun
is
as
all good.
expected.
Okay. 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 So looking so far so good. Here we go.
We have a good roll, yaw, and
All
lift
right.
of the spacecraft.
So sorry
We are standing by for max Q, maximum
if I
landing
slightly
pressure on the
um
spacecraft.
if this picture in picture slightly a little bit disturb it, but should not be a little
And
bit
coming
problem.
up 1
And this
minute
is the
58
view.
seconds after launch
Okay,
will be
1 minute.
first stage shutdown
And
and
right now it's
separation.
going into
Those
the
strap-on solid
max Q
rocket
region,
boosters will follow.
maximum aerodynamic pressure, fully exerted on the rocket. Okay, on the launch vehicle, also
Continuing to get good
in
calls for the
terminology term
spacecraft that
there.
everything is normal.
Okay, so everything is normal, and the velocity is around
Now 70 seconds
um
into the launch. Again,
should be almost,
coming up, we
yeah,
are
around
standing
two
by for first stage
almost
shutdown
three
and
times
separation.
the speed of sound, and the altitude is 33 kilometers. Okay, and we shall see soon of the first stage. That one will be um it's not really, how do I say, first stage, but more like on the strap on. We will see the burnout, Miko, main gen cutoff, followed by the separation, and we will shall see that one of the interesting view there. And here we go. We have separation of the side booster. It's it
And we
actually
have
formed that
confirmation of first stage shutdown and
Korolev
separation with
cross
strap-on
there. You
solid
can see
solid rocket
there.
boosters visible as they fall away from
All
the
right.
Soyuz rocket. The
All
spacecraft
right.
traveling about 4,500 miles
Here
per
we
hour.
go. So here is the view of the rocket camera on
First
board
major
there.
milestone comes up in about 3 minutes and 3 seconds
Okay.
after launch when the launch shroud
So
is jettisoned.
okay. So coming up for the uh, fairing Noscon
Continuing to get good calls
separation
for
or
all phases
jettison.
of
Some of you
this
would like to
spacecraft.
call that. And as it finally goes into the space
The
and no
second
longer
stage
needed,
is powered up
we shall
and
see the
it
separation
is
of it.
normal.
It's no longer being needed, no longer needed to be used to protect it from the atmospheric friction and whatnot. And as it going into the space, and it's
This
almost
view from Flight 31.
invisible there. Of course, the fairing will be
Liftoff
separated.
having
We
occurred
shall
just
see
3
that soon.
minutes ago,
Okay, by now should
6:59
be
a.m.
fairing
Central Time.
jettison, frame separation, and we have frame separation. And now the Progress MS 33 spacecraft has now right
This
now
view coming
being
from
finally
the
exposed
Russian
into
Mission
the
Control Center in the Terran
space
courtyard outside of
environment,
Moscow. That was an
even though
animation you
the
saw.
altitude is not really in the space yet.
Confirmation of
When that
launch shroud
happened,
jettison
around
again
90 plus kilometers or
coming about 3 minutes and
88
3
plus
seconds
kilometers,
after
if I
launch, and the
remember correctly,
spacecraft traveling about
from what I read
5,200
on
miles
the
per
altitude.
hour. Continuing to get good calls
Okay.
that the second stage is performing as
Okay,
planned.
that's cool. Good call. Oh, how do I do this? Okay, we're gonna
We
do
have
this.
about 1 minute left of second stage powering the flight.
All
And
right,
about
here you
4
go.
minutes
Here
and
we go.
37 seconds
Here
after
we go.
launch, we will see second stage shutdown and
Here you go.
separation. At that time, the third stage will ignite.
All right. So you can see there. I shall be able to show you.
This
Yes.
view coming from an
Sorry, we
external
are a
camera
little
on
bit
the
of
Progress
limited.
spacecraft as it continues its
All
flight on
right.
second stage, continuing
So
to get good reports.
the flight is all good so far. And as you can see, this is the view. And you want to know something interesting about this. How do I mention this about this rocket onboard view there? If you actually see this before, interestingly, they are in the sense of this one, it's not actually using the real video camera here, but instead it's like it's being like a fast moving picture being pictured out here and getting ready for the first stage on the core stage finally separated Miko and separation, and finally we have third stage
Continuing to get good calls coming
uh,
from the
ignition,
Russian
and
Mission Control Center.
we have already seen on the Feltin side already finally being
And we have
separated.
had second stage shutdown and separation, and third stage ignition. Now, over 5 minutes since liftoff.
Okay, and of course, obviously, it doesn't need that protection anymore because it's similar to the fairing
Spacecraft
separation.
being
It's
reported as stable and
no
nominal
longer
roll throughs
being
continuing to go as
need to
planned.
be
Again, now
protected by
5
the
minutes and 30
atmospheric
seconds since launch this
um,
morning, and the spacecraft
friction
traveling over 9,300
and
miles
whatever
per
that
hour.
could damage the engine bay
The next
itself
major
no longer
milestone won't
needed,
occur
so
until 8 minutes
it
and
finally
45
can
seconds
be
after launch.
separated safely.
At that time, we'll see third stage shutdown, which continues to perform as planned. And
All
fourth
right,
stage
here we
shutdown,
go.
we will also have spacecraft separation and orbital insertion.
All right, so here we go, and we see right now. Oh, it's not actually lasting for too long, but it's okay.
6 minutes now since liftoff at 6:59 a.m. Central.
All right. And right now, still on the orbital velocity, still short,
Yaw, pitch and roll of the
almost 10,000
spacecraft
kilometers
continue
per
to be
hours.
reported
And
as
altitude right
nominal.
now, altitude target would be 193 kilometers. But so far, the achieved uh, altitude for now is 179 kilometers and counting up. As you can see, of course, it needs to attain at least around 27,000 and 700 kilometers per hour, or around 7 point, if I remember, around 7.8 kilometers per second, because it needs to find itself way out to finally circling and orbiting the Earth, of course, because it needs to
Coming up on
sort
7
of
minutes into the
overcomes
flight of 94 progress.
the Earth
All
gravity's pull.
continue to be
So
reported
that's
as
why
nominal or
it
normal,
needs to
just as
actually
planned for
achieve that
today's
orbital
launch.
velocity, which in this case,
Again, third
going
stage
to the
continues to
International
power
Space
the
Station would be
spacecraft and will continue to do so
27,700
for about a minute and a
kilometers
half.
per
At
hours,
that time, the
and
third
of
stage
course,
will
it
shut
needs
down,
to
and three
achieve
seconds
the
later, we will see
altitude of the
spacecraft separation.
193 kilometers. Okay, and we can see, of course, because this is a little bit of orbital mechanic law in effect. So this is pretty interesting. You can see in the real time view of this one, or I say more like near real time view. That should be very interesting. Okay, and looks like we have less than we have 50 seconds before the extinction, or before the third engine cut off, TICO. Okay, we shall see that soon.
8 minutes
And
since liftoff
afterward,
this
after the
morning of
TICO,
the 94th
the
Progress resupply mission,
Progress
and continuing to
MS-33
be reported
spacecraft will
as
finally be
nominal.
separated from the
Third stage continues to
rocket
power the
stages,
flight
and
of the
from this
Soyuz
rocket
and
stage, and
Progress.
finally
We
will be
expect third
heading
stage to
and
cut off
ongoing
in
to
less
the
than
International
30
Space
seconds
Station.
now.
Okay, and still pretty interesting. Okay, 20 seconds, less than 20 seconds before TICO, third engine cut off, getting ready in, and Mach T minus 10 seconds, getting ready in. Okay, and here almost achieving the orbital velocities and altitude
Continuing to get good
target.
calls and standing by
All
for third
right, we
stage
have
shutdown.
TICO already achieving the orbital velocity, 27,700 kilometers per hours, and altitude is 193 kilometers. And you can see after the separation,
Confirmation.
um, afterward, the stage passivation finally going in to
Gone is
ensure
the
that
third
by the
stage
time
shutdown and
the
spacecraft
third
separation, as
stage
you saw
or
on
the
your
upper
screen.
stage finally
Progress is separated from the
re-enters back
Soyuz
to Earth around
spacecraft.
the Point Nemo, which is
We've received all nominal
around the
reports.
Pacific Ocean, where there is literally no
This
civilization,
view
no
coming from
lands,
the Russian
no
Mission
islands,
Control
and
Center
what's
in
on, no
Korea
humans
outside of
being there,
Moscow.
and hopefully most of the marine aquatic life there safe. By the time it re-enters, it will be become pretty harmless. Because otherwise, if the stage sep
As you can see,
passivation did
solar
not
arrays have begun to
initiate,
unfurl.
especially how do I say? Um,
Additionally,
Especially
the
when it
navigation
finally
antennas
vents
will
off
be
all
prepared
of the
aboard the
propellant,
spacecraft.
it's going
Along with the
to
external
be a
television
huge
camera, we
problem
had some
here and there.
previews already this morning.
All right, so here we go.
We'll also see this test of the
All right,
external black and white crosshair cameras that will be used during docking.
all right. So here you can see the view of it, and yeah, they are currently testing. This one is the analog television, but being digitized into the digital world, digital transmission. There, you can see with the black and white color there. I mean, who doesn't even miss this kind of stuff? It's cool. And you can see on the picture-in-picture side there is the launchpad view. Okay, as you can see, this is the crew. They are currently working. While on the NASA side, we are looking at the
Over 10
testing of
minutes
the
now since
analog
liftoff
TV
at 6:59
transmission,
a.m. and 6:50 more
basically
seconds
being digitized
Central
over
Time.
um, according
Progress
to the
headed for
modern
a heavy,
standard.
smooth ride
We
to
are
orbit.
looking. That's pretty interesting there. It's now currently cruising.
Teams in
Of course,
the
there
Russian Mission Control Center are now
maybe
sitting
some
in
of you
advance of the
might
spacecraft
actually
to
recognize
test
or
out
even know.
this external camera as well as
Okay.
unfurl the solar arrays.
Oh yeah, and of course, what I want to mention early on is that the solar panel has already been
We are
unfurled,
expecting the
has already
spacecraft to
been
arrive
deployed
at the
fully,
International Space Station
so
Tuesday
it
morning
it will
with
have
pre-programmed engine
power,
firings aboard. Progress
so
will
we'll
raise
have
its
more
altitude
power
to match that of the
to be
station. It
going
is
for
currently
there. And you
traveling
can see
toward
on
and
the
behind
picture
the
in
orbiting
picture
rover
mode side, the
laboratory,
peep
which
mode there,
flew
you
over
can see
Baikonur just 3
where
minutes
it's
before launch.
currently right now.
A later series of engine
It's right
firings will
now
fine-tune its path to the
flying
station with an
over
autonomous
the
docking scheduled for Tuesday morning
uh,
to the
around
space-facing
around
port of
the
the
Russia
Koisk
or
nodule.
around Inner Mongolia area there. Oh no, sorry, Russia and Mongolia area, almost around Inner Mongolia, which is located in China. Okay, and yeah, I don't think that's too much we can see from the Roscosmos side. And for the NASA side, yeah, you can see this is the transmission. Of course, like I said early on, solar panel finally deployed, so it can provide enough power to the spacecraft and also to ensure that will be safe. And of course, it also to ensure that it can stay in the orbit into the International Space Station as possibly long as it can be to continuously conducting this mission here and there. So yeah, that's why it's pretty important. Okay, so I don't think we can see that much, but we'll see as the time goes by and what's on. There might be anything important. Okay, and the TV transmission is still testing here. Okay, it's still testing to ensure that the communication and also the analog TV camera there being digitized over through the digital packet transmission should be good. And of course, this one being transmitted into, I believe, the Korolyov Mission Control Center back in Moscow, Russia. Okay, so you can see there. Okay, so you can see some appeal of the view there, view sky there. Okay, and also on the Roscosmos side, it's mostly on the interview side, but I don't think most of you can even understand Russian, especially myself. Maybe if you can understand it, no worries though. I don't think anyone who have already missed too much. It's just too much blabbing here and there. I don't think it's not super interesting for now. Okay, but here you can see on the launch pad view again, the launch crew team there. They're currently looking and assessing, and hopefully we are not going to see another weird outcome where the service module there has any of that big problem. Let's hope for the best. Everything is good and here and there. So yeah, we're still looking there, still staring around here, but that's pretty typical. And I think on the Roscosmos side, I think they are currently closing. They are finally ending the stream because there's nothing else to cover here and there. Yeah, it's already ending right now. So yeah, thank you. The Roscosmos
Okay,
side
we are
has already
monitoring the flight
ending
of
it.
Progress 94,
Okay.
having lifted off at 15 minutes ago,
Okay, so we can
6:59
change
a.m.
the
Central
stream.
Time, 4:59 p.m. my
Oh,
time.
hello, 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 hello. Hello. Hello, let me show you. Yeah, let me show you. Hello. So hello at Def 20059. Hey, hey. Hello, hello and welcome. Yeah, you you're my first viewer, so thank you. I really appreciate that you actually come here.
Anything on the
And
ride uphill for Soyuz
yeah,
was
just in
reported
case you want to
for
know if I
Progress.
didn't reply to your live chat,
Reported as nominal.
well, it's because
We
I have
start
to
the
use the
stage of
desktop side,
separation
so
at
very sorry.
8:45 minutes
But here we
into
go.
flight.
Hello. Okay. 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 So, hello. I'm so happy you are here right now. Yeah, that's why, like I said, I'm not I didn't stop streaming here and there. I mean, I can actually just make decision, just do one go and then decided, yeah, I'm just going to chicken out and not do anything of that. But that's not me, you know. And especially if you know on the VTuber side, not many people actually want to stream this kind of stuff. And that's a very, yeah, I'm opening the music and that's something that I can consider as my dedication, something I will keep doing it no matter what. I'm still going to do this. If I can do this, I'll do. Even if someday I'm busy with my work, if I can find my way. Okay, am I good? Oh, okay. We have slight outage there. Sorry if you hear that. Sorry. I don't know. That's a little bit of funnyism there. Funnyism here and there. So yeah, thank you. Even though I have to read using your username here at def20059, but thank you. Thank you actually for sticking around. And yes, I'm really not going uh, not going to go out anytime soon from doing this kind of stuff. What's the point? Let's not do it let's just keep streaming. Yeah. And also, of course, for other viewers out there, I don't care if you are still new, if you're still new or if you are still existing viewers, aka if you are my current subscribers, hello and welcome. You're still welcome here, just like I'm welcoming at def20059 here. So hello and welcome. You're now watching the live stream of the Progress MS-33 launches, and it has already been successfully placed into the preliminary orbit on the way on its 2 days journey into the International Space Station. And yeah, of course, as you can see right now, the Progress MS-33 spacecraft there, the cargo resupply mission there, it's actually just a little bit behind of the International Space Station, and to rest its maneuver to the correct orbit later on, to and also to match the orbital velocity of the ISS, of course, it's going to use its own onboard rocket thruster there. They are actually located lots of the site itself. It could be located at the back of the spacecraft, okay, and also some of the reaction control system to control the 6 degrees of freedom, or maybe even 3 axis stabilization, something like that. Yeah, with the roll, yaw, and pitch, so it can finally properly align into the International Space Station. And maybe you're wondering, hey, why it actually has need to take around 2 days of journey? Well, the simplest answer, to troubleshoot any kinds of problem in case anything arises here and there. So that's why interesting to it's pretty important to do that. Yeah, and as you said here, you are so cool. Thank you, Dev. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I'm genuinely very.
20
Oh,
minutes since liftoff at 6:59
okay.
a.m.
Let's
Central
listen
Time
before I
this
say
morning.
again.
Progress 94 saw a smooth ride to orbit, and after third stage separation at about 8 minutes and 45 seconds into flight, the teams began sending commands to unfurl the solar arrays, configure the external cameras, and send commands to some of the antennas. One antenna did not deploy, so Sergei Kudzverchkov will be using the Toru system, which is a hand controller in the service module for a cosmonaut-controlled docking to the International Space Station on Tuesday morning. The Russian flight control team that you see here in Koryov outside of Moscow will continue to troubleshoot and see if they can send commands to the spacecraft through that antenna, but the cosmonauts aboard the station will be standing by Tuesday morning to guide the spacecraft for docking if needed.
Okay, so yeah, thank you, Dev. You're very
All other systems
sweet
will
of you,
continue
and
to
thank you
receive reports.
for the compliment. I really appreciate it. I don't know how to say this because it's a bit, how do I say, neither of that word can actually describe that, and I don't want to sound like robotic, but well, that's my speech pattern. I cannot change that much. That's how I'm speaking. So thank you. And yeah, as you have heard from the from what the NASA commentary there, they said that the internet they how do I say, they said uh, that one of the antenna unfortunately did not properly deployed. So the Moscow mission control, especially the Korolev mission control, okay, they are still currently troubleshoot and see what they can do uh, with the spacecraft, so it can properly deploy that one very specific and crucial antenna and that will be used to properly send some of the guidance to the spacecraft itself, especially from ground to the spacecraft, so it can command itself automatically using the safety imaginary safety bubble zone. Yeah, that imaginary safety bubble zone to finally properly approach to the International Space Station. So that's why that antenna is actually pretty important to uplink to send and also to receive the information if they are able to send that command to go for the docking. Yeah, but since that one did not deployed, so they are currently still troubleshooting. But however, for whatever reason, if that one important crucial antenna did not deploy, okay, so the cosmonaut, if I remember, Sergei Kuchvechkov, I don't know how to properly pronounce that. I'm very sorry if you, very sorry. I'm not going to pretend I know how to pronounce his name. Okay, but Sergei will actually will try to guide the spacecraft using the Toru system. It's essentially a hand control system inside the International Space Station. Sort of like, how do I say? Try imagine you're using the joystick itself, right? The joystick for the flight, and especially for the joystick that early very big game joystick controller where it will be used to guide it manually into the International Space Station using whatever using whatever antenna that they are still working and properly communicating to the International Space Station in case it's needed and the troubleshoot did not successfully able to solve any of the problematic antenna. Sergey will use that big joystick controller to guide the Progress MS-33 spacecraft into the into the dock, so it can initiate docking to the International Space Stations around the Poisk module. So it's going to be docked into there. Uh, okay.
Space Station, having occurred 25 minutes ago. It was an on-time liftoff at 6:59 a.m. Central Time, 4:59 p.m. in Baikonur.
Okay.
Progress was delivered into a good orbit, and all solar arrays properly unfurled, and antennas were configured. One of two redundant Coors automated systems deployed normally, while the other antenna is currently being troubleshooted by Russian flight controllers. If this one antenna remains inoperable, current plan for the arrival of Progress is for the Toru system to be used by Sergei Kutsverchkov, Russian cosmonaut living aboard the station, for a guided docking to the Poisk module on Tuesday morning.
Okay, so that's what we hear right now. Like one of the two cores antenna system already working, but another one, the redundant set, did not work. So they're still troubleshooting. If anything, and if there's any problem at all, and say they cannot troubleshoot it properly for whatever reason, of course they are going to go use that Toru system to finally guide that properly, safely to dock into the Poisk m- ISS module there. If I remember correctly, how it looks is that it looks like that. How they say? Yeah, like what you said, it actually should be operational, but again, Dev, they for good reason, the cosmonaut, especially the astronaut inside the International Space Station, they've already been trained for this kind of situation. And usually when they are using that Toru system, you better hope that the antenna system, when it goes how do I say, when it uplink and downlink back here back and forth between the spacecraft and also the International Space Station, it better hopes to sync together properly and nicely, because otherwise, if the signal does not sync properly, let's just say even few seconds of delays, it can be a total difference between huge disaster or properly and safely docking into the International Space Station, specifically the Poisk module. It looks like, how do I describe it? Like this spherical white grayish color. That one is the where the Poisk module actually located. If I remember, around on the Earth facing side of the International Space Station. Okay, so that's why it's important. And I think if I'm not, I think I remember that one of the issue where the Toru system did not properly work to the point, uh, did not work syncly to the point. If I remember, the Mir space station almost almost in the, how do I say it, in total disaster mode, is that one flight around 93, 94, that, or 91, something like that. I'm not 100% remember that back, but that event actually did happen because of the few seconds of the delays between the spacecraft, of the cargo resupply spacecraft, and the Mir space station. When the cosmonaut tries to guide it to the mirrors itself, it collides to the mirrors, and essentially they're tumbling like crazy. But fortunately, they are able to guide it back to the safe to the
And
safe and nominal
Koryav, just outside of
nominal
Moscow.
trajectory, thanks to the, how do I say, the star tracking
The
navigation. The
Soyuz-2.1a booster
astronauts
lifted
basically
off of
just use
Site
that and they
31 in
try
Baikonur,
to
and all three
guide it
stages
back
operated as
the
expected, propelling
Mir space
progress
station
to its
properly.
preliminary
And in case
orbit,
you want
where
to
it
know,
is
Mir
now.
space station is
Progress was
essentially
delivered
a
into its
Russian
planned orbit,
space
and all
station
solar arrays
built
properly unfurled, and
after around the
antennas were
Almas and
deployed.
also the
Remember,
Salyut
one of two
space
redundant
station.
coolers
Yeah.
automated
And
systems
yeah, thank you
deployed
there
normally, while the other was currently being
for your thumbs
troubleshooted
up.
by Russian
I
flight
really appreciate
controllers.
it.
If
I really
this
appreciate it.
one
Thank
antenna
you.
does not
I
deploy,
hope that's
the
actually
current plan is
pretty.
for the
I
Kouryu
hope what I'm
system
saying right now
to be
can be a
used
bit
by Sergei Kosmachov, the
educational here
Russian
and there.
cosmonaut aboard the space
And please
station,
be remember
for a guided docking on
if I
Tuesday morning.
don't properly
Progress will stay on the
mention or
station for
even
about 5 months once it arrives,
tell you
and
guys
after completion
what
of
is it
its
here and there,
stay,
you need to remember.
Progress 94 will be loaded with
You need to
trash
remember
and
at the end of the day,
undock for
I'm
a
just a
safe
computer
re-entry into
science
Earth's
student,
atmosphere.
not an aeronautical or even
You can tune in
aerospace
for our live
student,
coverage of
or even
Progress dock into
people
station
behind
Tuesday
the
morning beginning at
this kind of
7:45
engineering. This
a.m.
kind
Central.
of engineering is
Again, we
pretty
will be
complicated,
standing by as
more
one
complicated than
Coors
my
automated
my
system
kind of studies. So
is still
please
not
be remembered.
deployed, and so the Toru system
And
will be
here we
used
go.
by
This
the
one
Russian
will be
cosmonaut
coming up
Sergei Kosmachkov
around
for the
2 days
guided
from
docking
now,
around that time.
around 8 plus PM
Thanks
or
for
9
joining us
or
today for the
9
beginning
p.m.
of
something like that.
Progress
So
94's
I also
journey
will
to the
try to
International
stream
Space Station,
that kind of
carrying over
docking, hopefully.
2.7 tons of food, supplies, and more to our 7 crew members living and working in orbit. That'll do it for us this morning. This is Mission Control Houston.
All right. So that's it. Already ending. So here you go. That's all from NASA. So the NASA stream has already finished. We and Roscosmos they've already finished way earlier than NASA did. So it's all good here and there. And of course, for more information, especially if you're really keen to see how is it inside the International Space Station, you can just go type in ISS live view. There you go. There you go. Just look just look at the outside of it. And sometimes, if you're very lucky, maybe you hear some of the hot mic transmission between the ground control system. Sorry, between the ground control mission and also with the crew itself. If we are very lucky, so that's that. And yeah. Yeah, and also Dev here said that imagine talking about this with an aerospace engineer. Yeah. Oh, I wish, I really wish, I really wish, man. I wish I actually able to talk this with a proper aerospace engineer, but even then, but even then, I don't have that much of industry connection. Yeah, sorry, I don't really have industry connection with the aerospace side of thing. But yeah, try imagine that they would have been very interesting, and also very interesting to try talk this. Yeah, but so far, the only one I can properly manage to find is out of my local people here. Maybe the closest I can find is that one guy in still active around Blue Sky, around YouTube, around Reddit. That one guy, if I remember correctly, Yoda Man. Yeah, that one is also from Sarawak. So that's the closest one I can find that they are very enthusiastic about this kind of stuff. Yeah, but by no means we are not an aerospace engineer. Okay, so and even an aerospace side, well, still pretty new here, unfortunately. Still pretty new, still pretty much early day, but I'm not 100% sure where we are going to have even our own proper orbiter rocket. From what I hear right now, there's basically two types of. There are still two kinds of studies still being initiated. How our indigenous orbiter rocket will be launched. There's two methods. If I remember, the first one would be the sea launch, or the second option, still very interesting, would be the air launch option. I can say the air launch option, the coolest one you can get. Because right now, currently, if you know about the situation, in the few years before this one, we have, if I remember, we have Virgin Orbit Launcher One rocket, but unfortunately, after six launch, yeah, after six launches, they basically got gone bankrupt, and not even that, not even, not even Brent Branson, if I remember correctly, yeah, Branson, that the CEO behind the Virgin Group company, he didn't want to bail out that Virgin Orbit, his subsidiary company. So unfortunately, Virgin Orbit literally just gone bankrupt. It did not work, and basically the dream just ends there. Although in terms of the liquid fuel air launch orbital rocket there, that could be that I can say definitely the first ever in the history. Launcher one did that. Maybe soon enough we're going to see hybrid rocket, air launch orbital rocket. Who knows? We keep dreaming on, man. Don't worry about it. Just keep dreaming about it. It's going to happen anytime soon, you know. So, so that's why keep that dream alive. So yeah, also from what I can read about at least our orbital rocket here, the suggestion idea about the slash rocket. If I remember, slash stands for Sarawak lightweight access to space, hash whatever is it, right? I'm not going to pretend to be able to properly tell you what, because that one is still in the very early discussion, and like I said earlier on, I don't have any of the in aerospace industry connection. I don't have any of that, so I can only do some of the educated guesses how our orbital rockets now, orbital rocket would looks like. Probably Probably we might try to go a little bit cutting edge. Could be we can decide to just go with the hybrid rocket system. Who knows? That also can work, because from what I can tell, we sort of have that kind of prior art kind of work with the, how do I mention it, with the Borneo suborbital site. Yeah, that one, the testing is there, and I remember that I think I thought to myself at the time, around that 21 22, yeah, 2021 2022 every part, back when the COVID is still raging around. I just thought about, well, maybe the rocket launch is going to be anytime soon, the Borneo Orbitals one. But unfortunately they did not proceed it, and before they actually able to do it, or even properly do some kind of proof of flight concept, that didn't work. And it's just mostly only on the side of, how do I say, just only mostly on the ground testing, ground testing, rocket engine testing, that's it. There's no follow on anymore. And unfortunately looks like maybe the only best way we can do at this point is just try to do some prior art. Who knows, that will happen. That can actually happen in the future. So yeah, thank you, Dev. I really appreciate the amount of the amount of real time emojis here. Okay, okay. You're kind of treating me around like Oshi here. No, just kidding. I mean, it's okay. You can. Yeah, yeah. I appreciate it. You you're still sticking around here, even though this is what you guys actually looking right now. Seriously, you guys still sticking around here? Wow, that's amazing. And yeah, thank you for that reaction. And yeah, I don't know how long we are going to go. Oh, wow. Okay, I don't know, but I like that cat emoji though, cat in a box emoji. So I'm not, so I didn't actually feel anything weird about it. I just think about, wow, cute. Seriously, that's cute. I like that. I like that. I like that you're giving me that. Yeah, so thank you. So I don't know. Should I end this stream right now, or should I just go maybe explain a little bit about what I know about the slash rocket? Maybe, yeah, maybe you can try leave your live chat. You should play chess sometime. Yeah, I should, but unfortunately, I'm too bad with chess. Seriously, I'm too bad with chess. Yeah, how weird is it, right? I'm very bad with chess. Maybe the super simplified version I do know, but chess just don't know. Just don't have any of that big hope that I can even play chess. I'm really bad with chess. Seriously, 109%. I'm so bad with chess. Very, very bad. Yeah, same. Yeah. Looks like we are same here. That's why I said I'm way. You and I, we are that bad with the chess game. It's very bad. I mean, I like the rule, just that I don't know how to apply that rule to the chess gaming there. I don't know how to properly apply that kind of rule. So if you tell me to play that, no, probably not. Maybe 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 wait until I'm slightly get properly good, you know. Not like to the point that I'm super proficient, but it should work. And anything that could have worked properly work. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can give you some of the other. May allow me to give you some of the funniest reaction that I can give you so far. How about that? I think you like this. The more I applied to a chess tournament once and lost in the first match. Betcha. That's why I said we are not very good with the chess game kind of stuff. We're not that good. Maybe May, maybe the half part I think we slightly can be very good would be the boxing side. There's one interesting match here. If I remember, it's called chess boxing. Yeah, that one is actually pretty peculiarly very interesting. That one is actually combining the chess and also boxing at the same time. But the chess side will be initiated first, okay, before the predetermined time finally ends, and then afterward they will go for boxing, and they'll go do for another allocation amount of time before finally they'll be coming again for the chess, and then here back here and so forth before finally they will continue with it. So yeah, that's what what you need to know. Yeah. So yeah, and also interesting, very funny, funny emoji. I like your giving here right now. I don't know. Should I actually properly continue this stream, or should I end this stuff? This stuff. I don't know. Maybe is there anything you want to say? You want to talk? Yeah, because I don't want to rudely end this stream. There would have been very very disgraceful thing to do. Let's not do that. I would rather just hear from you first. If I should end, or maybe if I should show you a little bit before I end the stream about this slash rocket stuff, I guess. I don't know. I'm actually a bit conflicted right now. Can you tell me what should I do right now? Should I end, or maybe I can show you a little bit? Yeah, because I don't want to be very rude here. That's why I need to hear what you're saying right now. Okay, looks like we are dabbing here again. Yeah, so I don't know. What should I do? What should I do? Please tell me. What should I do? What should I do? I cannot just abruptly end it here because you're here as well. And I mean, even you're here, I consider you pretty much to enough to actually properly listen. So that's why I need your thoughts right now. What should I do? Should I continue continue just a little bit before I'm going for my day. I don't know. Should do as you want. I will show up for your next stream. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. I hope you don't mind with the option sometimes, but yeah, thank you, Dev. Looks like I will do what I can do. What I can do, you know. You know, because at the end of the day, this is my channel. But yeah, I'm not going to be very rude with people as well. So so thank you. I'll take that suggestion. Thank you. So I think I need to give you this one. Okay, thank you. Maybe yeah, maybe I can talk a little bit, I guess, about this slash rocket, but so far that's that's what I heard. But let me see. Can I find the article? Where is that article about talking about this slash rocket? Yeah, slash rocket. How? Where is it? Hmm. Okay, I think maybe I need to see where is the best kind of, yeah, where is the best reference I can use, because there is three. There's Dayak Daily, the Borneo Post, and also Sarawak Tribune. I don't know. I'm a little bit complicated. Feeling a little bit conflicted right now. Which one I should tell you? Which one is the best one that probably describe this? Hmm. Maybe I can just show here right away. Right away. I mean, we are going to ping pong between these three articles here. Maybe I hope you guys are okay. Okay, so this is what it says. Study report. This one is actually the last year news, the January 2025. Okay, the study report for the Sarawak's first satellite air launch system. Yeah, by now it's already been long completed right now. Okay, and I think, okay, if I remember, this one is actually being done in collaboration between the federal government and also this Sarawak government. So this one, it will be the joint, sort of like a joint venture making rocket, something like that. Yeah. So here, what slash rocket actually stands for: Sarawak Light Air Launch System for High Altitude and Orbital Access. So basically like that. And from another news that I've already told you, it actually ping pong between these two. It's either going to be sea launch or the air launch side, but so far we don't hear that much of that news, probably because probably the reason why we don't hear that much news this day about this one is it's because it involves more complicated complicated logistics side about the rocket stuff and whatnot. So that's why that's why still not yet decided. Yeah, but from what I can see, I can say one of the design that I can say makes absolutely not nonsense. It says like here. It says like here. Even though I understand that the slash system, they probably will try to use regular aircraft, aka just look at how the Pegasus rocket and Launcher One rocket actually launch. That's actually how it would be mounted. But one of the I can say a little bit nonsense, I can say a bit of nonsense wording there is that it says here, we will avoid using conventional multi-stage rockets, which still require rocket parts to be dropped into the sea or neighboring countries. I just like, my first thought is like this. I just think like, huh? What do you mean? That's basically how most of the rocket actually launches. If you don't use this kind of technique, I think most of the rocket cannot even go orbital. I mean, technically, you can actually make the the single stage to orbit kind of rocket. You can technically make SSTO rocket, but there is a big problem. If you want to use the SSTO method, what you are going to consider? Probably, if you want to launch this kind of stuff, you really need quite massive amount of delta V, requires too much energy in order to reach to the orbit. And you say you avoid using conventional multi-stage rockets. That's still nonsense to me. What do you mean? What do you mean? If you want to do that, you might as well try to build the rocket as light as possible, and practically you need an impossible amount of how do I say, you really do need an impossible amount of lightweight material, and also probably impossible propellant that you need to use with super duper high specific impulse in order to launch the rocket. So I just like, huh? What do you mean? That's nonsense. Unless you can make these two, and even then we are not counting how many infrastructure in there. Probably that's I'm afraid that suggestion doesn't make any sense. It still doesn't make any sense to me either. So I just like, oh man, this is really political speaking. What they are talking about. Oh man. Okay. So yeah, other that kind of weird wording, how some of the politicians says here and there, but from what you can see, the wording itself, they said that they want to launch a small-scale micro satellites. The first one in this series is the Kenyalang one. In case you don't know, Kenyalang actually stands for hornbill in English, and yeah, because uh, our animal emblem is actually hornbill, specifically, if I remember correctly, the rhinoceros hornbill, if I remember correctly, not the the helmet part of the Kinalang, helmet part of the hornbill. So that's why it's quite significant for us here, and they are practically going to make an Earth observation satellites, essentially a super spectrum imaging satellite, instead of something like hyperspectral, which is pretty common with the satellite this day and age. So yeah, and of course the reason why we are why they are why we want to attempt it is because why not? We have the one of the best launch site we can use due to the geographical site and whatnot. But yeah, just to mention about the conventional multi-rocket stages rockets, why I think that wording is a little bit nonsense. That if I remember, it requires, even if you include the atmosphere friction and also gravity, you need to overcome with the gravity. If you sum it all totally, you really need around 9,341 meters per second of delta V. The delta velocity, you really need that more. But if you subtract all of that part, all of that air friction, atmospheric, whatever gravitational stuff needed to be overcome, it should have already gone. It should have been around 7,700 or 7,800 meters per second. It should have been that, but you need to overcome that. Wow, that's big. That's why I said. That's why when I see that wording, it's not make sense. I mean, inevitably, you still have to ditch the rocket parts, unless, let's say, unless you want to make an use for whatever reason can make a pretty good reusable rocket. For example, like the stock space with their Nova. Sorry, not Nova. If I remember, what was it? I'm not going to mispronounce it. It's going to be wrong for me. But stock space technologies, if I remember correctly, they are currently working on that technology. Make it a multi-stage, but all of the rocket stages can be reused again for the next flight. So sort of like, imagine like you're scaling up the effort what SpaceX and Blue Origin does, but you want to make sure everything else can be used again, launched, can be used again, refurbished, and relaunch it again in relatively almost no time. So that's a pretty interesting design, and yeah, I think I need to go with this one again. Let me see. Let me search first, okay? I'm not going to be that long. Can I find? Uh, okay. can I find something like, okay, can I find something, the example of this stock space rocket here? Or what's the name? Because I don't want to mispronounce it. Okay, that would be embarrassing. Yeah, I was correct. It's actually Nova rocket. Here, I'm going to show you the best example. If you don't want that kind of conventional rocket stages, you can go with this one instead. Another design. Yeah, you can see this is how it works. On the on the first stage, yeah, this one I'll give a bit good example here. This one on the first stage it will be SpaceX like design, but on the second stage, yeah, on the second stage you can see it's going to work sort of like how the man, aka the reusable crew mission, especially the with the SpaceX Dragon, Crew Dragon spacecraft, will also going to work. It's just going to orbit, deploy it, and then to rent the back to Earth, and then reuse it again. Yeah, so that's actually one of the brief best example. How do I see it can actually be work like this one? You can see the conceptual idea there. This is one of the another best example how the idea can be pursued around. See, if you don't want that conventional multi stages rocket, well, I don't know. I don't know. I think, yeah, I don't know if there's any sort of government representative or maybe even for federal government representative watching this. You guys can actually use this idea. Okay, use some of this idea that, but don't copy like no tomorrow. Seriously, be original. The, but this is the example idea you guys can do. Use it. The idea is here. You guys actually can learn from stock space. If you really want that fully reusable stages, you don't want that conventional multi stages. You decided you want to give a finger to to the rocket equation. This is what you want. This is it. This is probably your best bet if you really want to. And yeah, I'm sorry if my wording is a little bit weird here and there, but other than that, not much of the follow up from what I heard, but from what I also do here, okay, from what I also can hear, yeah, okay, where is it? Let me see. Hmm. Okay, still a student, so pretty typical, of course, what I'm putting there. I'm still a student at the end of the day, and it's pretty typical. Uh, every Sorokin student will going to accept that FTS stuff, free tertiary education scheme. Yeah, if you've already done it, just do it. I'm just cleaning it up. If I remember, so cube set, if I remember correctly. Let me see. Oh, sorry. The mousepad is actually acting up a little bit. So from the initial idea here, yeah, the Premier Sarawak Abang Johari, literally also already said about the idea. Hey, why not instead of trying to use try to use the typical micro satellites? How about we use CubeSats? And as myself actually kind of predict this, I just like I'm a little bit like not really super duper surprised. Even from back in the day, I actually kind of predict like if Sarawak decided to have our own satellites, it will be somehow it will be CubeSats, and I can say my prediction actually came true. They really wanna go with this kind of territory. I mean, some of you guys might know what CubeSat is. It's pretty typical out there how it will looks like, and yeah, at least from Abang Jo, he himself he tries to say that yeah, this CubeSat is much cheaper in comparison to conventional satellites and whatnot. I mean, if you have slightly more money, especially if you're government from a government agency, if you're from um, private companies with practically deep pocket, with a deep pocket amount of money, this one will be cheap for you. But unfortunately, if you are small, if you are just from small indie indie space group that basically just want to learn here and there, but only few launches, of course it's going to be pretty expensive. So there's also another alternative. From what I heard, another alternative you technically people can go is CubeSat. Okay, but CubeSat is slightly just cheaper than CubeSat, but nothing more. Still kind of expensive as well on that ballpark territory. Another one, if I remember correctly, is the Sun Cube, but Sun Cube is around 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters. Essentially, try imagine like CubeSat, but smaller, but much more miniaturized version of the CubeSat. It's around 3 centimeter square cube, something like that. Yeah, 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters. But however, so far in practice, Sun Cube were never been launched at all, other than just conceptual idea. But again, interesting idea. If you still want cheap stuff, you don't want that tens of thousands dollars of course cost, or even $100,000 of cost, maybe you can go with Sun Cube. But another much more interesting interesting idea I can look around is the thumbset. Thumbset is also pretty interesting. Where is it? Yeah, thumbset. Thumbset like this kind of size, pretty interesting as well. Thumbset, it's pretty small, but because it's small, well, it's going to be a little bit of problematic. But if you just want to do some of the experiments, technically you can also do this. The thumbset, if I remember, recently launched like few months or around few months ago, if I remember correctly. Launched on board the Jilin 1, aka, if I remember, the Kinetica 1 rocket. Yeah, and this rocket, okay, this one is the solid fuel rocket. Yeah, so you can see there how it actually looks like. Okay, we can go here again. Why are you using why are you trying to translate? I don't want translation. Just okay. So here is the original translation here. So the it actually carries the thumbset 1 and also thumbset 2. Thumbset 1 is the mirror selfie payload. Thumbset 2 is essentially an artistic payload, essentially merging science and creativity. But that's it. There's 2 thumbsets so far being launched in practice right now, but it was launched around 19 August 2025 on board the Legion 1 or Kinetica 1 rocket. So yeah, as you can see, I mean, it's a pretty interesting rocket here as well. I mean, I wish they probably wants to do some kind of stream, but even then, the live stream is pretty rare to find. Actually, pretty rare. So rare I don't know if you could even probably watch it. Let me try see. Oh yeah, if I remove that dot one, if finally we are able to see how it actually looks. Yeah, and of course, thank you again, Dev. As always. Hope you don't mind it. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Yeah, I wish they actually wanna stream this, but at least from my knowledge, unless the rocket launches actually located around the seaside area, or maybe, for example, if you best example is around the Wenchang space launch site and its commercial site, and also around the Yellow Sea area where they launch Jielong 3, and also whatever rockets around the Yellow Sea area. Unless you have that, usually you're not going to be able to see any kind of stream launches from the Juchuan satellite launch center, and also the Xichang satellite launch center. The Juchuan side, if Juchuan side actually located around the inner Mongolia, in China, while the Xichang launch center actually located around the, if I remember, the Sichuan or Xichang, around the Sichuan province area. So yeah, that one is pretty deep inside it. Basically, just long story short, it's essentially driven by the probability, like in case they got invaded by, I don't know, whoever they're very afraid of, Soviet, by whatever power out there. They decided, hey, we're going to make launch site pretty deep that it's going to be pretty impossible for them to target us. So basically, that's why they, till this day, they still have the launch site in the Jichuan, in the Xichang, and anything related to it. And also, even that's partially the decision why they are pretty much located inside it back then, around in the around the 60s, 70s, 80s, up until 90s, 2000s. They are still pretty inside, but lately they are moving their launch site around the seaside area, around the Yellow Sea area. So yeah, so that's why we are able to see some of the rocket launches, usually otherwise too restricted. We finally able to see some of it live. But speaking about this Jichuan side, let me try. Yeah, speaking about the seaside launch, I'm not 100% sure whether or not I can stream this one, this Jielong 3 rocket launches here. They will be launched from the Haiyang offshore launch location here. Apparently it says here Haiyang Oriental Spaceport in China. I'm not 100% sure whether or not I can stream this one. Yeah, I really want to stream this sea launch site here and there, but I don't have that much of chance, unfortunately, because either it's because the launch site coincidentally always happen around my university class time, or because simply I just had very very tiring time that I cannot properly stream this kind of stuff. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm not 100% sure, but if I do manage to find one, I will try stream this. But if I cannot manage to find any kind of independent live stream, let's say for example, I cannot find anything, let's say maybe from international rocket launches, which I would be restream it back as well, or if I cannot find it around, whatever they want to use, QQ stuff, uh, Weibo, whatever is it. If I cannot find any of that kind of source, I would rather not wasting my time stream, giving you the most mediocre stream. That's not me. That rocket launches must be real rocket launches. It's not about just whenever rocket launches. It's just about that tiny blip rocket like that from uninteresting CCTV point of view. I mean, it would have been different if it's from the visitor's side of view. They just zoom it in. Yeah, that would have been very different. But as of now, that's not my kind of policy. I'm not very interested on trying to stream on that one blip CCTV and try to tell everyone, hey, that's very exciting. I'm lying to myself and I'm lying to you guys if I say it like that. I mean, it's interesting, but only for the point of wow, that's rare. But unfortunately, just like, oh no, there should have been some stream here and there. So yeah. So just in case you want to know ahead of time, if I'm able to find this stream, I will stream. But if I don't, well, it's still going to be so. If don't, then today will be my only stream so far. That's it. And yeah, I think that's all. I've already talked too much. I've already yapped too much. I don't want to keep doing it because it's going to tire me down. and it's also going to tire you guys down too much. And yeah, I don't know, Dev, if you're still here or not. But even if you're not here, thank you so much, actually, for still keeping me around here. And yeah, thanks to your presence, at least I have some kind of, not really kind of like super duper authority, but more like at least I have some important feedback. How should I proceed? Because I cannot just go and stream with no live chat here forever. I cannot do that, because otherwise I don't know if I did anything wrong with my stream. I don't know, because there's no people here. So that's why usually if you sometimes see me just going around the tables, maybe just grabbing my phones and whatsoever, because I want to sometimes hear, did the live feedback, the audio feedback actually good or not. That's actually something that I really want to do that, because it's pretty hard when there's no live chat feedback for me to understand what I'm actually did anything wrong here and there. So yeah, I don't know. Even my mouth right now is kind of can can be a little can be in kind of questionable state right now. Yeah, very questionable state. I think I would have already lose my breath if I keep talking. So yeah, it's better for me to just end here right now. This is not me being rude, okay? This is me just taking care of myself, so I can continue do what I'm doing right now, okay? So don't worry, I'll be back. And also, yeah, regarding, how do I say, the video, this my own podcast about the, how do I say, my own podcast about my just some talk. I plan to do this few days before, but well, stuff stuff happens. But whatever, if I can get myself up and running for tomorrow, I'll just do the podcast, and I'll upload instead in the form of video, because, well, why why abandon it? There's no point on abandoning that kind of stuff. If it's good, y- if it end if it end broken, and fix it, you don't have to fix anything that's not broken at all. Maybe if it's broken, yes, justified. But if it's not broken, don't fix it. And also, it's just going to give me more excuse to just maybe yep whatever I want to talk. I don't know. It's And also another reason is that because I want to talk something as leisurely as I can. I don't know. Maybe I can make it long, like this one, like what I'm doing right now. Just talk here long, in a very long stuff. Maybe I can talk up until 40, 50 minutes. Or if I have a little bit more strength, maybe an hour plus. I don't know. Let's see. If I manage to do that, I will upload. And yeah, because it's springtime, so appropriate, I will also going to change it. But for now, just we are going to keep the status quo as it is, right? Like that. So yeah, thank you so much everybody for watching, and especially thank you to username at dev20059 for coming into my stream. I really appreciate that you really bothered to come to my stream. You know, it's pretty lonely time for me to try try go stream around and not even seeing any feedback for me to improve. So yeah, usually I need to rely upon to myself, and also to my other another friend, but more like, but at this point I just only have like only a handful amount of friends. I can actually just only count only my five, not five, maybe more like my one hand only. That's actually how much my friend has right now. So yeah, what friends I'll say, if you're wondering about my friendship status, not really super duper a lot. So yeah, you're not alone. If you're just like me, congratulations, we are not alone. We are good. We are good on that side. Okay, and I guess that's all. I will coming back again if there's any proper stream for the J-Long 3 rocket launches. I will also go live shortly. Okay, so don't be too surprised if you see me going live. But otherwise, if there's nothing, if I cannot find any kind of live stream here and there, so I'm not going to stream if that's not gonna happen. But if it's happening, well, I'll do. So that's it. I hope you guys can understand it and that. So yeah, thank you so much everybody for watching, and yeah, I will say my closing word here. So yeah, thank you so much everybody for watching. I'm Daniel Suguwa, your host today for the launch of the Progress MS-33 onboarding the Soyuz-2.1a rocket from basically at this point it's a NASA dash Roscosmos joint collaboration for this launch. Okay, and it was successfully launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome on the site 31/6. Okay, after the 3 months of stand down due to the due to the mishaps happening, not tightening up properly on the service maintenance pad module there, but they are able to go back. They are able to be back again after three plus months of grounding. So yeah, thank you so much everybody for watching, and I'll see you soon between these two scenarios. If there's Jielong 3 launches, if I manage to find live, I might go live around 11:30 p.m. or maybe a little bit late, 11:35, 37. I don't know, depending on when I can find it. If I cannot find it, the stream, that's it for the stream for today. And another one that definitely I can try go stream, it would be, yeah, it would be for this one. For first, it will be for this for the Spectrum rocket by ISAR Aerospace for the mission of Onward and Upward. This one, and it's my time in my time here, it will be at what date? Yeah, 24 of March 2026, a Tuesday at 4 a.m. here, local time in Sarawak in Borneo. So hope you guys understand. Yeah, maybe that one will actually instead become my stream. And also for the Wednesday launch of the Starlink Group 17-17, I will also going to stream this sort of as my replacement stream before, where I intend to stream it of the Starlink launches from the Vandenberg, but unfortunately, last minute technical issues means I have to reallocate it here back to here. Yeah. Okay, Daughter of the Stars, looks like they've already set it, so I need to set it back. Maybe I've already done it. Okay. And yeah, also another interesting one here. Amazon Leo for the LA-05. I will also try to stream this. Transporter 16. Oh, right. 29th of March. Wait, actually that's not bad. It's actually a week from now. I can try stream this. Not bad. I'll do this. Man. I'll do this. And yeah, and also launches. Hopefully, I'll also able to. I also can do at the 2nd of April. I don't know. I hope I can do this. Maybe I'll also going to stream this Artemis 2 rocket on Artemis 2 mission, which will be launched on the SLS rocket, Space Launch System rocket. Yeah. So another one here, Starlink for now, not yet. After it's finished, probably I'll give it a little bit of month before, probably early May or maybe late April, where I'm going to stream again. Okay, STP-S29A. If there's any proper live from the launch of the for the launch of Minotaur 4 from the Vandenberg, if I remember, Sleek 10, if I remember correctly, SLC-10. Oh, SLC-8. Yeah, my mistake there. Sleek 8. Slight mistake. Sorry. if I can get a stream, I will also do that. And for the CRS NG-24 on 8 April 2026 at 51 p.m. local time here in Sarawak in Borneo. So maybe I can also try to stream this one. Let's see. Hopefully, yeah, looks like from yeah. Also, I can try stream that one too. Hopefully, they did not delay this because yeah, usually okay. And also the uh, Smile satellite payload launches on board the Vega C. This one is actually pretty notably very interesting. You know why? Because notably very interesting is that instead of Ariane Space that actually Ariane Space or Ariane Space that actually handle the launches, it's Avio. Avio will fully going to manage the launches as well. So it's it's their proper first time ever they probably going to handle this launch side, because I mean it's pretty logic because uh, most of the most of the rocket components that being launches here, it's actually Italian made and made by Avio. So obviously it's pretty logical why Avio wants to manage these launches as well. Okay, and also another one, Kakushin Rising. This one is for, if I remember, for the IQPS one, IQPS satellite, uh, Kyushu Pioneer Space. Okay, 23 April 2026, and also Progress MS-34. Later on, we are going to see a month plus a month and a 1 month and 3 to 4 days from now, we are going to see the launch of the Progress MS-34. Okay, also from the same launch side, but slightly different day. This one definitely is going to be, from what I can tell, probably around night time where we are going to see the launch of this, or maybe around evening in Baikonur. We'll see. Okay, via set dash 3, flight 3. I hope I can stream this Falcon Heavy. This one pretty rare to stream this one, so hopefully no amount of disruption. Okay, here and there. Also Vikram 1 rocket from Skyroot in India. Okay, hopefully we are going to see that. And this one very notably very interesting, Swift rescue mission. So I hope I can try stream this one, this Pegasus XL rocket. This one is specifically for the refueling mission to extend the lifetime of the Swift satellite, especially the Nile device, something like that. Yeah, and that one is for the X-ray observatory satellite, if I remember correctly, space telescope. So hopefully we're going to see that soon. And the rest, yeah, not much else that we can get other than this one, Progress MS-35, 17 June 2026, 9:40 a.m. Also the same launchpad as we have seen, and also for the LOXSAT 1. This one will be set around 25 June 2026. Launches from New Zealand in Mahia Peninsula. Yeah, so we are not pretty sure when. But that's it. I'm not going to bore you guys again. That's it. We have already ended here. And thank you so much everybody for watching, and take care and stay safe. Goodbye and see you on the next stream. Have a great day. That's it. We are finished. And yeah, please take care and stay healthy. Thank you so much everybody. Bye bye. And especially thank you to user at def20059 for coming into my stream. Appreciated it. And you know, because you are here in the live stream, it's actually easy for me to check around if there's anything wrong with my stream, and also if there's any adjustment I need to do. And so far you are pretty helpful. That's why I really appreciate it, and hopefully I can keep doing what I'm doing right now. So yeah, or some people says, keep doing the fighting what you're believing in, I guess. So yeah, thank you so much. Bye bye.